big one today going against the Titans.
In Detroit, Jared Goff, he threw 5 picks last week against the Texans, but it was no problem as they came back to win. He's looking for a little smoother day today.
And there's Lamar Jackson. He's playing like the NFL's MVP, but against the Steelers, he's just 1-3. Question is, will he be legit on the road in Pitt?
And here's T.J. Watt, best defender on the field today. Creates havoc and disrupts everywhere he goes. A lot like his brother right up here in Buffalo. Yeah! Here we go!
Well, folks, we've got a blockbuster doubleheader ahead here. Many of you will be in Pittsburgh. That's where the echoes of past battles linger as a city that's built on grit and steel hosts a rivalry that's built exactly the same way. But indeed, all of you will be right here in Buffalo, where even hours before kickoff, as you can hear, the energy is palpable. Anticipation is in the air as two of the game's greats are set to do battle later this afternoon. And hello, folks, and welcome to the NFL Today, presented by Jeep. I'm James Brown. We are coming to you, yes, live from Orchard Park right here in New York, outside of Highmark Stadium. And I am beyond excited to be joined by a few members of a group I have even greater respect for. They're called the Fraternity. The Hall of Fame football coach, that will be Bill Cowher. The multi-talented Emmy Award-winning co-host of CBS Mornings, that will be Nate Burleson. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt. And a former NFL League MVP, quarterback Matt Ryan.
JB, this place is going crazy. They've already got it going on their own. I don't need to do anything. I've wanted to do this for a while. My guy, Pat McAfee, does it on game day every week. Let's go, Buffalo. These guys are ready to roll.
Yeah, I see you, Fired up this early in the morning, and folks, you hear a lot of talk about Bills Mafia and the atmosphere here in Buffalo, but to experience it firsthand, it takes it to a totally different level. Today, the perfect day to be here with some thrilling matchups ahead, all right here on CBS.
Listen, in this league, wins and losses are attached to two people, head coaches and quarterbacks. Since 1950, with a qualifier of 100 games, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have the best winning percentage. Number 7 on that list, Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. The only other time we've seen a matchup like that is Belichick and Brady versus Dungy and Manning. Today is special. Oh, by the way, 1 through 6 on that list, they all won Super Bowls together. When you have the combination of head coach and quarterback and win at this level, Super Bowls tend to follow.
Yeah.
A championship's coming for Buffalo.
No question about it. And in Pittsburgh, what you have is the best rivalry in the game today. You're talking about Baltimore going into Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh's won 7 in the last 8. Lamar's 1-3. Throw the records out. The ramifications of this game in Week 11 for the AFC North is there today. Physicality will define this game today. A lot of emotions. It'll be a great one.
The Detroit Lions have been on the wrong side of big spreads for a long time.
Right.
They're very happy to have a stat like this. They're favored by 13.5 today. That's the largest spread since 1977 when Bill Belichick was an assistant coach for the Detroit Lions. Good times in Detroit right now, and they're loving every second of it.
Yeah, another NFC North team. How about the Minnesota Vikings? They're playing against the Tennessee Titans. Two teams going in two completely different directions. For the Titans, they're playing for their careers, right? Their careers in 2024 and 2025. For the Vikings, though, listen, you are right now who you will be in the postseason. They started off strong, but over the last 5 games, 9 turnovers for Sam Darnold. They need to get some type of rhythm so they can get some momentum going into the postseason. Well, folks, with that in mind, and for more on this huge collision between the Bills and the Chiefs, all the latest news from around the league from our guy, we'll tap in with the guy who has his ear to the streets, the man of the people, our insider, Jonathan Jones.
Man of the people, JB. Who's up, who's down for this game? Let's go ahead and get into it. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's been battling a hamstring, but he's a go. Isaiah Pacheco, he's close to returning from that fractured fibula. He's still a week or two away, though. And kicker Harrison Butker, he got a meniscus trim earlier this week, was placed on IR. Casey went out and signed Spencer Schrader from the Jets. Now, for the Bills, no Keon Coleman with a wrist, and tight end Dalton Kincaid with a knee. Matt Milano, he just got back to practice from a torn biceps, but he's not ready today. And Amari Cooper, questionable with the wrist, looks like he's going to play. I talked with a Bills source earlier this week. I asked him, man, it kind of feels like a playoff atmosphere here all around me. Does this team view it like a playoff game? They said, actually, not really. Buffalo wins this. The Chiefs are still the top seed in the AFC. Plus, Buffalo has a tougher schedule ahead than KC with games against the Niners, the Rams, and the Lions all up next. Speaking of high stakes, a lot riding on this Jags and Lions game later today. Sources around the league tell me that the Jaguars, if they lose to the Lions, they believe this could be the end of the Doug Peterson era in Jacksonville. Jags have a bye next week, and the expectation is they're going to be looking for a new head coach and GM this offseason. Could they be seeing their next head coach today? Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, he's a hot name, and so too is offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. He just got a new agent, and I believe Johnson is going to be very selective about his next stop. The roster won't matter as much as the team's infrastructure and ability to succeed long term. And the Bears, they made a move that some there saw as inevitable back in the preseason, firing offensive coordinator Shane Waldron this week. Thomas Brown takes over as OC, and here's what to expect. Bears, they got to start quicker. They only have 10 first quarter points all season long. They're going to get the key guys involved early, and that means the veterans who were pushing Waldron out. And look, let's get out of the huddle a little faster. Let's have some better tempo at the line of scrimmage so everyone, including Caleb Williams, can get in the flow. And everyone on offense, JB, they're hoping that this means that Caleb can finally take some shots down the field.
The crowd here is keeping the tempo going, Jonathan, as you know, as we turn to our guy.
This place is crazy. They're going nuts. Bills fans, it's a little chilly, but when you got your own built-in sweater, JP, just waterfall in and enjoy the ride. That's my guy, Justin, enjoying every second.
Coming up on the NFL Today, the playoff picture is coming into focus, and the guys will tell you who they think is looking good and who still has work to do. The Lions D has helped the team get off to an 8-1 start, and today J.J. Watt talks to lineman Alim McNeil before their game against the Jags. And later, Kyle Brandt goes to the mat for one of the NFL's best rivalries, and he even brought along a famous friend to duke it out. All that and more when the NFL Today continues on CBS. The NFL Today on CBS is presented by G. There's only one.
Time now for a pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. Taking a look at the playoff picture in the AFC, folks, it's the Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, and Colts, all on the outside looking in. They're chasing the wild card spots right now held by Denver, LA, and Baltimore. Meanwhile, Houston holds the South. Pittsburgh controls the North, but all eyes are on Buffalo and Kansas City. Two squads led by two supernova talents who are built for this moment.
This generation's big boy quarterback matchup.
He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Every time I go up against Josh, I know that it's going to come down to the end.
And these games always deliver. Allen with the keep and the leap.
I mean, he's an alien.
Mahomes. Touchdown! Down the field he goes for the touchdown.
Two unbelievable quarterbacks playing at a spectacular level.
We love it when the superstars in the league go head to head.
Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen have faced off 7 times, folks. The margins could not be slimmer. They're neck and neck in almost every category. Just one win separating the two in this rivalry that never, ever disappoints.
Yeah, when you talk about this Buffalo offense, you're talking about Josh Allen. And what he's done this year is protect the football, not trying to do too much. He's thrown 17 touchdowns to 10 different receivers, and they got this running game with James Cook and Ray Davis. That is something. In this game a year ago in the playoffs, the leading runner in this game for Buffalo was Josh Allen. He tends to run more in big games.
But the Chiefs, though, remember when we were talking about them struggling, the inconsistencies on offense? Stick with me for a second. I'll make it make sense. So here's what they did. They got some fluids. They sweated out all the yuckiness. They ate some greasy food. In other words, that hangover is gone. They hit all the home remedies to get rid of all of that overwhelming feeling of not starting the season fast. Now they're hitting their stride at the right time, all while being undefeated. The fact that they're catching their rhythm, that means it's about to get scary for the rest of the NFL.
They are catching their rhythm, but the Bills are also catching their rhythm. They've had 30-plus points in 4 straight games and 7 times total this year. But on the flip side, the Chiefs' defense has not given up more than 28 points in 38 straight games. Matt, something has to give today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'll be.
Yeah, no, listen, you mentioned the Chiefs defense. I love what Steve Spagnuolo's doing. Right here, they usually play a ton of man-to-man coverage, but their changeup is this 4-week pressure from the boundary, right? And they were able to get home. This is in the fourth quarter, a critical third down in the fourth quarter against the Broncos. Who did they do it against as well? They did it against Joe Burrow in Cincinnati in the fourth quarter, bringing the 4-week pressure into the boundary. Steve Spagnuolo holds those in his back pocket, right?
Yeah.
Second half pressures, using them at timely moments. Their defense has been outstanding. You mentioned it. Something has to give today. It's going to be awesome to watch.
All right, folks, shifting the focus to some teams in the conference that have a little bit of work to do with 5 squads hoping to crash the AFC wildcard party. The question is, which of these squads has the best chance in your eyes?
I mean, they're out of it. That's the Miami Dolphins. They're 3-6. They play Las Vegas today. But if you look at them since Tua's come back, they're 1-2. But those 2 losses were walk-off field goals. They played well and could have won both of those games. Their defense is playing better, and I just like the speed they have on this football team. They're getting healthy. Look out for them to get on a roll.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think their offense could get hot. I'm looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, all right? They've got the Chargers today, and then they've got to bye in Pittsburgh twice. But they've got a stretch between week 14 and 17. 4 games. Dallas, Tennessee, Cleveland, and Denver. If they win 4 of those games, find a way to get 1 win in the other 3, puts them at 9 wins. Could get him in.
JB asked, who's catching our eye? I don't know if this is for good reasons or bad reasons, but the Colts keep catching my eye because it seems like they're flipping a coin to decide who's starting a quarterback up there.
Right.
They're going back to Anthony Richardson now. I'm interested to see how that 2 weeks off has helped him, to see what he looks like now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, but I don't know if this is all good or bad for them up there.
All right, guys, can we pick up the conversation about the Jets again? I know for a while we tossed them away. I'm just saying, they're sitting at 3-7. The offense has not been good. We recognize that. Aaron Rodgers, 32 straight games. He has not hit over 300 yards passing. All right, so we get that. Defensively, they're not perfect, but they're good enough to win games. But here's the thing. You mentioned schedule. How about this? The next 4 games at home, they have the Colts and the Seahawks, winnable games. And then on the road, Dolphins and Jags. Those are all winnable games. They win those 4, they're back in the mix.
Have they sweated out? Have they had enough greasy food? Did they get their fluids?
They still have a hangover.
Sweat it out in a different way, you know?
The New York influence is on Nate.
Yep. All right, each week on Nickelodeon, join yours truly and my guy, Young Dylan, as we turn the highlights into slime lights and find out who takes home the slimiest trophy in sports, the MVP, all that and more on NFL Slime Time, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern and Thursdays on Paramount+. Verizon Business Video Series is committed to building partnerships that empower your business. See more at verizon.com/cornerstore. And around here, beef on weck is Buffalo's signature sandwich. Roast beef piled high on Come-On-Weck roll, topped with caraway seeds and salt, dipped in au jus with a hint of horseradish for that perfect kick. It's juicy, it's bold, it's got bite, just like this matchup between the Chiefs and the Bills. And around here, the fans are going crazy. The fellas and I, we're about to go hit the tailgate and have some food, baby. Let's go! When the Steelers and the Ravens clash, It's more than a game. It's a grudge match. A feud built on power moves, counters, and beating your opponent into submission. And today, the stage is set. The bell is about to ring, and my guy Kyle Brandt is here to bring the heat.
Here come the
Ravens versus Steelers could be on pay-per-view. No holds barred. No jobbers need apply. And no blading necessary. This battle bleeds on its own. Ed versus Hines. Lewis versus Bettis. Lamar versus Watt. And Ravens versus Steelers. Woo! No baby faces in this feud. These are two heels who hate each other and who hit each other. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, they're not coaches today. They're ringside managers. Mike Tomlin, he even interfered on the field against Baltimore once. Now what's more pro wrestling than that? Well, this dude, this is Kurt Angle. Is a Pittsburgh legend representing the 6-time Super Bowl champs. And now he thinks that they can be AFC North champs. Angle, is that really true?
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Let's find out. Come on. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. We dropped 7 out of 8 to these guys. We come up short against Pittsburgh more than we have in the playoffs. But I think we're better now. No, and I know we're bigger now. Wrestling loves royalty, and we're gonna make them put the crown on King Henry. Yeah. Now you see that? Look at that. Look at the quarterbacks. This is what happens when the best comeback of the year goes against the best player in the sport. Splat. Woo! Tell you what, Angle, your boys are gonna learn what I call the 3 I's: incompletion, interception, and intentional grounding. Time to go home, boys. Yeah. Get out of here. I'll give this to the Steelers. They will never quit, and neither of us will ever submit. So it comes down to this. Who's gonna hit our finisher first? Come on! WrestleMania runs wild, or the belt stays in the beltway. This match is scheduled for one fall. Let's play some ball.
Clearly, Angle was serious. Bill, he did what?
He won a gold medal, JP. In wrestling.
With a broken neck.
With a broken neck. This guy defines Pittsburgh. Him and Bruno Sammartino simultaneous with wrestling. But really, when you look at this game against Pittsburgh, look at the 2 quarterbacks. These 2 quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, and you're talking about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, he has started, and this is Lamar Jackson, 24 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Talking about MVP. You're talking about a guy now who's got a runner with him. Russell Wilson, 3-0 since he took over the starting position from Justin Fields. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. The vertical game is back in the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Coach, you know better than anybody. This is an old school football rivalry. A knockdown, drag-out fight. These 2 teams know each other better than anybody. TJ has played against, I've been loving watching it from afar, but you can throw everything out. You can throw out the ranks of the offenses. You can throw out where the defense is. This is going to be a tough, hard-nosed football game, and I can't wait to watch.
Because they know each other, right? Those divisional matchups. And this game is going to be one in the trenches. You look at the running back rooms. Of course, we look at Derrick Henry. He is the king sitting on the throne. But you have Najee Harris, another big back. He's staring at the throne. He's playing for a lot of reasons. One, he wants to prove he's a premier back worth paying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's looking at Derrick Henry saying he is the guy that set the standard, the blueprint on what bigger backs can do in the league. I'm looking for Najee to have a big day and Derrick Henry to continue to do what he's doing.
I still think it comes down to the passing game, right?
Really?
If you're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens, you've got to come off the bus throwing the football. They have struggled, particularly in the middle of the field. I'm interested to see today if Russell Wilson and their group can attack the middle. Most of their vertical passing game has been on the outside. It'll be interesting.
Play action is going to be used today.
Got to. Hey, Bill, what opens up the passing game?
Running the ball.
Thank you. you very much, Bill. All right, folks. Hey, and as a matter of fact, Bill Cowher knows something about being out here with all these folks. It brings back some memories, like back in 2018 when Coach brought the spirit of Buffalo into our New York studio, smashing right through a table, and he became an honorary member of Bill's Mafia as a result. Well, the guys get a chance to have a little fun with it today. Who's going first? Who's giving a shot at it?
Hey, is it going to make you feel more comfortable if I'm standing here like you're going to come hit me?
Bring in another table. Bring in another table.
Keep it going.
Star matchup here today in Pittsburgh. Get the athletic trainer ready over at your site. The Ravens are 7-3. The Steelers are 7-2. The winner will be in first place in the AFC North. Hi, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Charles Davis. We know how special this rivalry has been through the years. We also know how special Lamar Jackson is at quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. But the Steelers have done an excellent job containing him in the past.
Their number one goal, keep him in the pocket. But what he's done is elevated his play from the pocket and has made some really good throws from there to the outside part of the field. Let's see if that translates today and helps him hurt the Pittsburgh defense. On the other side of the field, Russell Wilson, we know he wants to go big play hunting. Wants to find George Pickens and Mike Williams downfield for some big shots, both on the outside and in the middle of the field.
Pittsburgh linebacker Patrick Queen spent the first 4 years of his career with Baltimore. He'll go against his former team today, and he has upped his game in recent weeks.
He certainly has, and he wants to show his former team exactly what they lost when he went to Pittsburgh and put on the black and gold. He can do it all by himself. On the flip side, Kyle Hamilton, the perfect blend of safety and linebacker. It's in your best interest to block number 14.
Ravens currently with the top-ranked offense in the NFL, the number one scoring team in the NFL as well. They have a bevy of weapons on offense. Pro Bowl tight end Mark Andrews. He's gotten into the mix in a big way, a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games.
Yeah, and in those games now, he's back being the Mark Andrews that the guy Lamar Jackson came to rely upon. On the flip side, Mike Williams, a full week of practice, he's going to run that red line and go for those 50-50 shots downfield.
Former Jet, now with the Steelers, turned out to be a pretty good pickup, the game-winning touchdown last week against Washington. Coming up, who will win the NFC? That's when the NFL Today continues live from Orchard Park on CBS.
Jared Goff looking to bounce back, folks. That after a rough outing last week. The quarterback threw 5 picks against Houston, but the Lions did not fold. They did find a way, and you know what? That's determination. That's heart. And as far as the Lions are concerned, that's grit.
Grit. This team has grit times 2.
The Lions are the hottest team in football.
What a throw from Jared Goff right at the bucket.
How big is that? They say once you hear the roar, it's too late.
Now we have seen it all.
Watch me go Super Sonic. That's the man they call Sonic.
Sonic and Knuckles.
They can't grind that man down.
That is a big-time slam of the door by this defense.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, folks, here is where things stand in the NFC. The Niners, Bears, Rams, and Seahawks all lurking in the hunt, while Washington, Green Bay, and Minnesota locked into the wild card spots for now. Atlanta and Arizona sitting atop their respective divisions with 6-4 records. Philly flying high at 8-2, but the big dogs, or should we say big cats of the conference, are the mighty Detroit Lions. And folks, it was just a few moments ago that our guy, speaking of big guys, our big guy, JJ, caught up with Aleem McNeil.
Aleem, thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate it. I'm a big guy. I'm a fellow big guy, so I'm very curious. Your pregame meal, what was it this morning?
My pregame meal this morning, because we had an early game, it was just regular breakfast. I had a smoothie. I had a fruit smoothie with some protein in it, some hash browns, turkey sausage, pancakes. So I try to keep it simple, not too much.
I love it. Keep it simple. Love that. DJ Reader, one of my favorite teammates of all time. You two in the middle make such a good tandem. What makes this defense special, and why are you guys playing so well?
I don't really think it's a blueprint to it. It's just a mentality thing. You know, when we go out there and we're playing football, we just know that we don't want nobody to run on us. We don't want nobody passing the ball on us. So it's just really a mentality thing in there for us, honestly.
I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Good luck to you today.
Appreciate you.
The breakfast is an all-timer. Just a simple little breakfast.
You named 10 items.
I'm hungry, though. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about this defense, really. This defense has played very, very well these last 4 weeks without Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it starts for me with this guy, Brian Branch. Brian Branch, he's a safety, he's a nickelback. He's great in coverage. But watch him right here set the edge. Dip underneath this blocker. It makes the play right there in the backfield. Love Brian Branch. I think he's a quarterback of that defense. And in the back end, you have Aleem McNeil right here. You talk about the push in the pocket. You talk about an elite inside player. You talked about JJ. What he can do, his size, his strength, his agility, his ability to bend. He creates havoc in the middle of that pocket. And on the back end, here's Kirby Joseph. Leads the National Football League in interceptions. Why? Because he can anticipate. He sits there and baits the quarterback. No wasted motion. Great angle right there. Steps in front, gets the pick. These guys are taking the football away. They play good in the red zone. And think of what they've done since Aiden Hutchinson went down 4 games ago. These last 4 weeks, 8 takeaways, 9 sacks, 58 pressures, no quarterback over 300 yards, and they've only given up 20 points a game. So you know what? Aaron Glenn, without Aiden Hutchinson, has found a way to be very, very productive.
Aleem mentioned in that interview, he said there is no blueprint, we just do what we do. And that's what happens when you have Dan Campbell and the culture that he's created.
Right.
Last week, they were in a hole. At halftime against Houston Texans, they were in a hole. Jared Goff had 5 picks, but they believe.
Yep.
That's one thing about this Detroit Lions team that Dan Campbell has instilled. They never think they're out of a game, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
They have grit, right? I mean, that's real. That's real what you see from them. The other thing I like is they've got Jared Goff. You mentioned a tough week last week. When we saw the NFC playoff picture earlier this year, who do you like better than Jared Goff at the quarterback position?
It's a great
NFC?
question.
Who do you trust more than him, right?
Great question.
Taking a team to the Super Bowl conference championship game last year. They're going to be a tough out in the NFC.
Yeah, listen, I was trying to dive into some numbers about Jared Goff, you know, when he had a game like he did last week. So, and this dates back to when he played for the Rams. In games where he had 3 picks or more, the following game, he came back with at least 44 attempts, which isn't good. But the more important number, which is kind of staggering, he's 0-3 in those games. So that got me thinking, how does the guy respond after throwing 5 picks? Does he press the issue? Does he do too much? No. There's a recipe to success for this offense. You lean on Sonic and Knuckles. You lean on Gibbs and Montgomery. And you have that balance. Keep the passes around 25 or 30. And then you hand the ball off to open up the passing game. I believe Jared Goff is going to get back to that, and they'll get the win.
And you can do that because they have the best offensive line in football. When you talk about an offensive line, and maybe the best offensive lineman, this guy, Penny Sewell, he's the right tackle. He's 6'5", 335. I'm telling you, he can root you out. Watch him come around there and lead it. This guy's at the next level. You don't want to see him. So you guys got 6'5", 335, 7th pick in the draft. Physical guy, right? Lead the screen. So if you're in the secondary, if you don't want to see Derrick Henry, you don't want to see Penny Sewell. Again, look at this guy right now. He's leading the ball carrier, running at the same speed. Let me throw him out of the way. Okay, you're still up. Let me throw the next guy out of the way. And right now, he is a leading mower right down the field. His athleticism and power is unbelievable. Second to none. I think he's the best offensive lineman in the game of football today.
That's a big man moving extremely fast down the football field.
Scary stuff.
Those DBs wanted no part of it.
No, none. Zero.
I'm still thinking about the recipe. My gosh, man, that was a recipe. Hey, folks, time now for Epic Game Day Picks presented by Pepsi. Everyone here has been waiting for this one. Chiefs and Bills. Who comes out on top? Matt, you're up first.
I mean, we're here. You can feel it. The energy is real. To me, the Bills get it done today. Buffalo gets the win over KC, knocks them off being undefeated.
Oh, boy. This game truly doesn't matter. We know it comes down to the playoffs. We know the Bills can beat them in the regular season. It's all about the playoffs. I may not make it out of here alive, but today I'm taking the Chiefs.
Listen, the Chiefs have built a dynasty. Better yet, they have built an empire, like the great Roman Empire. But even the Roman Empire failed. Not today for the Chiefs. They will remain undefeated. I'm going with the Chiefs in this one.
Hey. You knew it when he had the red coat on when he came out here. But you know what? I am picking Buffalo.
Coach, you should have worn that when you were going through the table. That would have been good for the table.
No doubt.
You know what? Take him out of the studio, JJ, and look at what happens. Hey, folks, now that our picks are in, the Chiefs and Bills are ready to go head-to-head today, and Pepsi has assembled its own epic battle that finds Josh Allen and Travis Kelce teaming up for first place, that alongside fellow superstars Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson in honor of the upcoming film Gladiator 2. That's coming your way in theaters November 22nd. Take a look.
We're in a huge movie studio. It's so different than anything I've ever done.
I'm just so grateful for Pepsi for asking me to be a part of it. It's just such a cool experience to be a gladiator.
I've been on a few sets, but this is one of the biggest.
It's crazy to see behind the scenes. The armor actually feels pretty similar, I'm not gonna lie. You get the same excitement putting this stuff on just as you would getting ready for practice or a game. I wish I could take it home with me, but...
The physicality of this compared to what we do on the field, you know, this costume, it weighs a little bit. The legs are getting a little heavy, the back's getting a little tight.
It's kind of cool because we're all working together.
Normally, we're on separate teams.
It's pretty cool to chop it up with these guys.
Just added to the surrealness of this entire experience.
Are you now entertained?
The NFL Today is sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico. Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And by Jeep. There's only one.
Well, this week, the Bills Family Flag Football Challenge brought players, coaches, and families together, raising $21,000 for Haven House to help survivors of domestic violence.
When these two tangle, it's always tight and it's intense. Here's Mahomes. Look at underhanded. He throws it for the touchdown. Allen fires it. It's a wide open touchdown. Buffalo. Remarkable. Kansas City takes the lead with a minute to go. This place is going crazy. For the win. He caught it. Ball game. Mahomes intercepted. Unbelievable. Will there be another meeting between those two? There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage as the pass is to an open Kelce, who flings it back over to Tony. My goodness, this is going for a touchdown. And I think it's coming back.
Offside, number 19, offense.
The Bills win it. 44 yards pass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right. Wow. The two most dreaded words in Buffalo.
Like that, bro.
These games always deliver.
And, folks, when it comes to Mahomes and Allen, no one has quite captured the moment like our longtime colleague and friend Jim Nance. Folks, He's like Douglas Brinkley of football, the presidential historian. He's the NFL version. He's chronicled 5 of their 7 showdowns. He's back for another one today. Jim, aside from coming to a wild set, why don't you contextualize what this matchup is?
First off, I've been watching the show from the top. You got to do this more often. This is the best. You know, we've been doing this show a long time, so this is new ground. I will say, though, you guys have been in the studio too long. You're all bundled up like it's wintertime. It's balmy for Buffalo, man. You guys are...
We got soft.
You guys got to get a little toughened up here. This is pretty weak. Thrilled to have this game. Just, you know, a lot of gratitude in my life these days, and just to be able to see it again. I hope to see it maybe one more time, but I think there actually is a lot riding on this one. And yeah, because on the Kansas City side, if they win, there's such a favorable schedule the rest of the way. It's not only three-peat, but it could be the run at the undefeated season. Kelsey told us about that last year when we met with him in Vegas before the game. And on the other side, if Buffalo wins, hey, you're one game off of maybe having the repeat matchup here. Now, I know they played here. Right. We were here to call it a divisional game last year, but they certainly would rather have the second game in the postseason here as opposed to Arrowhead.
But even walking around town here last night a little bit, I was talking to some Bills fans, and they were saying, even if we win this one, we know it only comes down to the playoffs. We know we can beat them in the regular season.
So true. And it's been such a one-sided thing. Yeah. The Bills win in the regular season. The Chiefs have won the 3 in the postseason. But I love it. I had the chance to do the great majority of the matchups between Brady and Manning. They met 17 times, all those AFC championship games, regular season games. This is the modern day version of that, and it's a thrill.
You know, Jimmy, so you look at these 2 quarterbacks, you talk about that, and I just see Josh Allen this year playing with more freedom. It's like Steph Diggs was taken away. He doesn't care who he's throwing it to. He's 10 different receivers have caught touchdown passes. Do you see that in his play as well?
Absolutely, and the amazing thing is this was supposed to be a year maybe of a transition because they let so many veterans go, but he has carried it, and I mean, he's remarkable. Both of these quarterbacks are, and the thing is, on both sides, they're going to get better. Usually there's attrition at this time of the year. You're losing bodies. They've got guys coming back on both sides. You got Pacheco and Ominahu for the Chiefs. Matt Milano is going to be a big addition for the Bills down the stretch. So I do think these are 2 teams that are going to meet again in January on CBS.
That's right.
And I can't wait to come back, have you guys on the road, and have me back on the desk and talk about it again.
You've narrated so many of these great games. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. How does the atmosphere today feel to you?
Hey, the atmosphere is great. It's always great here. The fan bases are probably the 2 best in the league. But, you know, you need to go down on the field. I was meeting last night with Leo Chanel. He's a Wisconsin guy. He wants to meet.
So can we get your?
Oh my goodness!
Can we get your voice as a backdrop to some of these impressive
Ryan on his backside one more time, and the coach. That looked like a soft landing, man. That looked really good.
Hey, did you see how we all ran to Coach when he was on the ground? We're like,
He didn't need
it.
Coach, we got you. He didn't need it.
Matt, a few more tables out there for you, Jim, if you want one.
Just point me in the right direction. I'm ready to go, man. I still got 3 hours to wait. But I've loved being able to watch you guys on site. Like I said, this is something we need to add to our future a little bit more.
And you're the best to ever do it, man.
Thanks, man.
You and I know all too well there were voices in the past like Summerall and Madden. Your voice lets people know it's a big deal. Welcome down here again, Jim. Knock them alive today.
I love you. You know that.
Well said, Jay.
Thank you. Absolutely. Hey, folks, time now to make every moment more with FanDuel. Now, the time to lean into your hunch. Nate starts us off.
All right, I'm going with something that I had a hunch on. That's Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson with 2 touchdowns. And I'm a double dip. Mark Andrews with the anytime touchdown in this game. Lock it in.
And my hunch is Jonathan Taylor going against the New York Jets is going to rush for 60 yards. Jonathan Taylor for 60.
Travis Kelce is tied with Tony Gonzalez for most touchdowns in Chiefs history. I got him scoring a touchdown today to take the solo lead.
I like that.
Jared Goff coming off the 5-interception game. I think he bounces back really well today. He goes for over 200 yards. Take it to the bank.
We got about a minute left. Let me give you 30 seconds of it before we come to Nate. Set the scene for us, Jim, in terms of what you're going to be looking for.
Well,
This is it.
This is it. We want to blend in with this. This is going to be all that you're watching right now. But as much as we talk about 15 and 17, this game will be won by the team that's going to run the football the best. Both coaches told us separately that these matchups, other than that one wild 42-36 game, it's been won by the best offensive line. That's what I'm looking for.
Bill Cowher has told us that from day one. It's the run game that sets the stage. All right, folks, we're going to kick it off here with Bills Mafia. We'll see you back here at halftime. But first, as we know, with kickoff just a few moments away,
we will get you out to your game next.
The NFL Today on CBS is presented by Jeep. There's only one.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. We'll see you later at 4:25 Eastern for the big Chiefs and Bills showdown. But right now, Amazon takes you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Ravens and the Steelers. Let's get you out to Pittsburgh with our announcers, Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn.
JB Acrisure Stadium is going to be electric today. The Ravens and Steelers in a battle for first place in the AFC North. Lamar Jackson leads this formidable offense, ranked number 1 in the NFL. Today will be the 36th time that John Harbaugh has matched up against Mike Tomlin. The Steelers are riding a 4-game winning streak, and the offense has come alive with Russell Wilson at quarterback making his 4th start. Right now, it's a 2-team race in the AFC North with Pittsburgh on top of Baltimore. And with that, we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle, along with Charles Davis. Evan Washburn joins us down on the sidelines. This is one of the fiercest, most entertaining rivalries in sports. And you could sense it this week. Steeler fans are beginning to believe that this team has a legitimate chance to make noise in the postseason. A big reason for that has been the play of Russell Wilson.
And it was fully on display last week when we watched Russell Wilson in Washington. The big shots downfield to George Pickens and to Mike Williams. And then, of course, using his mind and his cadence to get them to jump off sides and seal the victory. Russell Wilson gives them confidence. He gives them belief.
And moments ago, Evans spoke with a 9-time Pro Bowler.
Russ, you're about to get your first taste of this Ravens-Steelers rivalry in between the lines. What do you plan to bring to this game to make your mark?
We got great detail. You know, we got to be, the bigger the game, the simpler we got to be in terms of our mentality, our fundamentals, be great. And great attitude, man. It's going to be a passionate game. It's going to be a hard-hitting game. We'll be ready to go.
What are your emotions right now?
Calm as can be. Ready to go. Neutral, man. Ready to go with it. Let's go get it.
Enjoy it.
Yep.
I'd say ready to go. Defensively, Alex Highsmith suffered an ankle injury late in the win over Washington last week. But the Steelers have so many impact players on that side of the ball. T.J. Watt, 16 career sacks against Baltimore. Cam Hayward has 8 versus the Ravens. Well, let's talk about Baltimore. This team is red hot. They've won 7 of their last 8. Lamar Jackson, he's won the MVP award twice. His numbers would indicate that it very well could be a 3rd time this year, CD.
And you mentioned numbers. Everything he's doing, it feels like it's at a career high level because he has elevated his game in every way. Completion percentage, getting the ball downfield to the right people. Yards per ball game. He is stinging defenses consistently week in and week out. And per attempt, that means the ball is getting downfield. And of course, you know he can still run it. Yes, he could be MV3, but he's got a lot of help this year. And it came in the form of number 22, Derrick Henry, coming from Tennessee. The big diesel in the backfield next to him breaks down defenses and allows for Lamar Jackson and his sorties to the outside.
On defense, Baltimore is ranked dead last against the pass. Last week, Cincinnati's Joe Burrow had his way. 428 yards, 4 touchdowns. John Harbaugh told us it will be corrected, and actually, he's surprised it's taken this long. Countdown to kickoff continues from Pittsburgh. They are ready for the purple and black versus the black and gold. All the action is coming up on CBS.